I learned many great lessons from my father, not the least of which was that you can fail at what you don't love. So you might as well take a chance on doing what you love.
Sometimes, one of the most challenging and fear-inspiring questions we have to answer is knowing when it's time to switch jobs, move elsewhere, and generally undertake serious change in life. In many cases, we are led astray by potentially warped views of success, well-meaning but ultimately ill-suited advice from people we admire, and general bias towards comfort and complacency. If you're unhappy with your current job, struggling to make your next move, and generally confused about whether or not you're optimizing your future around the right values, then this video is for you. Today, I hope to convey a few guiding principles that have helped me better determine when change was necessary in my life. While not universally effective, they have generally persisted as strong and foundational lenses under which to view my relationships, passions, and professional growth. My first piece of advice relates mostly to professional work, and the most potent tip that I can start with is this: avoid the trap of living the same year for 10 years in a row. A popular but completely unfounded notion in today's society is the idea that to be successful, you must repeat the same incremental, comfortable, and growth-averse tasks ad infinitum. Continuing to live the same year over and over again convinces you that you are bound by a certain set of skills, aspirations, and outcomes. It is another year of the same ideas, the same environment, the same potential, and the same horizon. In life, our priority should be constant growth by whatever means we find most impactful: travel, creation, work, meditation, and much more. We should never feel relegated to an empty, unchallenging routine that may benefit your employer but teaches you nothing about life or expands your mind in the way you desperately crave. Dynamism and curiosity are the true victories of human spirit, and they can only be pursued when you break free from the stagnant routines that currently define your life.
Regardless to man's title, regardless to man's wealth, rank, or position, if the heart is not great, then he cannot be great. But if the heart is great, that man remains great under all circumstances, rich or poor, large or small.
My next piece of advice is one that has completely changed the way I approach new opportunities and the kinds of people that I choose to surround myself with. And it is this: look up around you in your work at the people 5 years your senior. The odds are that's where you'll be in the same amount of time. If there's anything I've learned after graduation, it's that most humans are equal in raw aptitude and capacity. What defines their success and rapid growth is how they leverage the social, professional, and creative systems they are a part of to learn more than their peers in shorter amounts of time. If you stay in the same system as everyone else, the pathways for your growth have already been rigidly defined. If you look up at someone a few years your senior and you realize that you want to be nothing like them in the same span of time, then it's probably time for a change. If you find that the opposite is true, then those are people that you should try your absolute hardest to surround yourself with. Beware of roles, titles, and other stage metrics of success. They may grow your salary and authority within a very specific organization, but they can also leave you intellectually and creatively complacent. It is up to you to decide what growth means for yourself. Aside from teaching me about the real nature of my job and passions, the last few years have forced me to see my own problematic and sometimes destructive relationship with achievement. In college and shortly thereafter, it was hard to admit to myself that I was doing things because my employers or mentors convinced me they were valuable. In other words, their values and conceptions of success took precedence over my own. And in the process, the person that I was becoming grew slowly but undeniably and painfully apart from my ideal personhood. And as I learned hard lessons and finally started creating and acting on my own terms, I realized: be loyal to your vision, grand ambitions, and loved ones, not your employer or mentor. At all costs, avoid being a widget to be paid, worked, moved about, and repaired when broken. The greatest decisions that I have ever made have come from prioritizing my own learning and desire to grow. They may seem scary and ill-advised, but as I am slowly realizing, they're the only decisions that I have never come to regret. Take the leap of faith and become the person that you dream about being. Ultimately, you are the one that must live with your decisions, and I think we would all much rather fail in the pursuit of a dream that brings us joy and childlike wonder than fail or even succeed in an arena of life that we have no passion or fire for.